Okay, degrees of comparison mainly refers to adjectives. Okay, we have three types of degrees: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Okay, in positive degree, where it's a general comparison, and in comparative degree, when the comparison is between two. If it is more than two, you use a superlative degree. So we will discuss each one of them in detail. Degrees of comparison are used when we compare one person or a thing with another. And when we have a different adjectives as a different degrees, as I told you, positive degree when it is in general, comparative degree when we have two, superlative degree when you have more than two. There are three degrees of comparison in English: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Positive degree, when we speak about only one person or thing, we use positive degree. This house is big. Here you are not comparing this house with any other house. In a general sense, you are saying this. You are comparing it with the perception that you have in your mind. He is a tall student. The flower is beautiful. He is an intelligent boy. Each sentence mentioned above talks about only one noun. That is the criteria for positive degree. The second one in the degrees of comparison is comparative degree. When we compare two persons or two things with each other, we use both the positive degree and the comparative degree. This house is bigger than that one. So see, there are only two that is considered: this house and that house. Okay, how will you make it superlative? You say this house is the biggest in this lane or in this street. When there are more than two houses, you use a superlative degree. When there is two, you use comparative. This house is not as big as that one. Positive degree. Okay, here it is positive degree. The term bigger is comparative version of the term big. Both these sentences convey the same meaning. The flower is more beautiful than that. The flower is not as beautiful as that. So when you specifically mention two nouns, you use a comparative degree. If you don't, it is positive. The term more beautiful is comparative version of the term beautiful. See, ER form and more form, we use it for comparison. Okay, either we use ER form or we use more form. For certain words, do not take ER form. You can't say intelligenter or intelligentest. It's a wrong usage of the word. Therefore, use more. The term more intelligent is comparative version of the term intelligent. He is taller than Mr. Hulas. He is not as tall as Mr. Hulas. The term taller is comparative version of the term tall. Both these sentences convey the same meaning. So the basic understanding that you should take into consideration is positive degree when only one particular noun is highlighted, and comparative degree when one noun is compared with that of another specifically. When we compare more than two persons or things with one another, we use all the three positive, comparative, and superlative degrees. This is the biggest house in the street. I told you, right? I gave you that example. So that is superlative because one house is compared with other houses. That is more than two houses in the street. That is superlative, means more than two. This house is bigger than any other house in the street. This is comparative because you are using other here. No other house in the street is as big as this one. So these expressions like, look at the words, adjectives. Look, in comparison, you should focus on adjectives. What adjectives you have used, based on that you decide whether it is positive degree, comparative degree, or superlative degree. Here big is a basic positive adjective, bigger is a comparative, and biggest is superlative. Okay, based on the usage of the adjectives, you determine whether the adjective is positive, comparative, or superlative. The term biggest is the superlative version of the term big. All the three sentences mean the same meaning, but in different ways. The flower is the most beautiful one. What is this? More, look at this, most beautiful. Most denotes superlative. More beautiful, more is comparative. More or ER form, comparative. As beautiful as. This is the expression grammatical pattern that we use: as plus adjective plus as. It's comparative. The term most beautiful is a superlative version of the term beautiful. All the three sentences mean the same thing here. Then, he is the most intelligent in this class. He is more intelligent than other boys in the class. No boy is as intelligent as this boy. See, with words that use ER form, EST form, that denotes whether it is comparative or superlative. In other forms, the usage of most we use it in superlative degree, more we use it in comparative degree, and as plus adjective plus as sequence we use it in positive degree. Okay. The term most intelligent is superlative version of the term intelligent. Both these sentences convey the same meaning. He is the tallest student in this class. Again, look at this expression, the tallest. The rule with superlative degrees, it should always be preceded by the. It's compulsory. The tallest student. He is taller, ER form, comparative degree. As tall as, look at the sequence, grammatical sequence, as plus adjective plus as to determine adjective. So the same thing is repeated here. Then, among the members of the group, Mr. Clinton speaks most effectively. The term effectively is an adverb. What do you mean by adverb? Any word that describes the verb. Effectively is describing speaks. All the terms used in the above examples are either adjectives or adverbs. We have seen all the 3 degrees of comparison. Let us learn their models, means the grammatical pattern. This is the best hotel in this area. No other hotel is as better as this one in this area. No other hotel is as good as this one in this area. Look at these adjectives, good, better, best. You don't say good, gooder, goodest. It's wrong. And many times I've seen many students saying, he is my bestest friend. So many times they upload in social networking sites. Bestest usage itself is wrong because best itself is a superlative degree. You should not use EST for that. Unemployment is the most serious problem facing our country. Unemployment is more serious than any other problem facing our country. No other problem facing our country is as serious as unemployment. The easiest way to identify whether it is a positive degree, comparative degree, or superlative degree, focus on the adjectives and the words that are used. Most means superlative, more means comparative, as plus adjective plus as sequence denotes that it is positive degree. One of the best. Again, one thing you should remember when you use the expression one of, it should be followed by a plural noun. Many times you would have said, one of my friend is an engineer. This expression is wrong. You should always say one of my friends because you're considering one out of the many friends that you have. And again, one of my cousins, you should say. One of my parents, you should say. So any noun that comes after one of, it should be in plural. Kolkata is one of the largest cities in India. So now it is Kolkata after renaming. See here, you can see one of is used here. It's not mentioned city. Many times we commit error here. One of the largest city, that is wrong. It should be cities. Kolkata is larger than most other cities in India. Very few cities in India are as large as. Again, look at this expression. As plus adjective plus as. This sequence, if you get, it is positive degree. Then one of the largest, most. Kolkata is large than most other cities. Other. You have more form, ER form or other form. Largest city, it's superlative degree. So there is a spelling mistakes here. Sachin Tendulkar is one of the best batsmen in the world. See again, MEAN means singular, MEN means plural. Therefore, any noun that you use after one of, you use a plural form. Therefore, men is used. Okay, is better than most other batsmen in the world. No other batsman in the world is as good as Sachin Tendulkar. So look at the expression good, better. Better is here. Then you have best. Then not the best. This is not the best solution. This is not the best solution to the problem. This is not better than few other solutions to this problem. Other solutions to this problem are not as good as this one. See here, we are focusing on how to use the expression not the best. Not the best solution, not better, not as good as. So this one is positive, this is comparative, and this is superlative. We are just discussing various types of examples. The primary rule being the same, as plus adjective plus as, or not as plus adjective plus as is positive degree. More ER or other comparative degree. Most is superlative degree. Most or EST is superlative degree. New York is not the largest city in America. New York is not bigger than many other cities in America. Few other cities in America are at least as large as New York. Few adjectives and adverbs get their comparative forms by simply getting more before them. That is using before them. And their superlative form by getting most before them. So look at these examples. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. So all the words in this middle row, middle column refer to comparative, and the rightmost column is superlative. Effective, more effective, most effective. Effectively, more effectively, most effectively. Useful, more useful, most useful. Different, more different, most different. Honest, more honest, most honest. Qualified, more qualified, most qualified. Few adjectives and adverbs get their comparative forms by simply getting er after them, and their superlative for terms by getting est after them. See, there are certain words that cannot take more form, okay, or most form. It just takes er or est form. Hard, harder, hardest, big, bigger, biggest, tall, taller, tallest, long, longer, longest, short, shorter, shortest, costly, costlier, costliest, simple, simpler, simplest. Degrees of comparison add beauty and varieties to these sentences. So what is the main function of the degrees of comparison is they compare one noun with that of other nouns. Either it is in independent form, individual form, or in comparison with two, or in comparison with more than two. So the basic rule that you should understand in degrees of comparison is the pattern, the grammatical pattern that you use. If you are talking about a noun generally, okay, if you're talking about a noun generally, you use positive degree. You use the expressions as plus adjective plus as. That is the grammatical pattern. If you're comparing one noun with that of another, you use more form, er form, or other form. Okay. When you are talking, comparing one noun with more than two nouns, you use est form or most form. Okay. In exam, you may get a question like to identify the sentence, comparative degree. Identify a sentence that denotes a superlative degree, like that. Okay. So this is the basic understanding. Positive degree means one, comparative degree means two, and